Hey everyone, we're going to be doing something new. It's a long workout today, so pay attention. It's called IWT, which stands for interval weight training. Now it's very specific, so I need you all to pay attention. It's divided into 3 parts. So let's take a look at the first part. So part A is going to have 3 rounds. We're going to start off with 1 minute of as many repetitions as possible of snusters, followed by 90 seconds of as many repetitions that you can do of mountain climbers. And then we're going to rest for 90 seconds. And then we're going to do that whole thing 3 times before we rest for 90 seconds. We end the third part with a 90-second rest plus an additional rest of 1 minute. Then we shall move on to part B, which follows the same format of 3 rounds. 1 minute, the first minute will be an AMRAP, as many repetitions as possible of weighted squats, followed by 90 seconds, as many repetitions as possible of sit-ups, and then 90 seconds rest. We'll do that 3 times. At the end of the third one, we will have 90 seconds rest plus an additional 1 minute of rest. And then we shall move on to part C, which is 3 rounds, where we will give you 90 seconds to try and finish as much as you can of 5 burpees, 5 bent over rows with each hand, 5 push-ups, 5 V-ups, and 5 dips. Now if you don't finish the whole thing in 90 seconds, that's fine. Just stop wherever and whenever 90 seconds happens, and then we'll rest for 90 seconds, and we're going to do this again, this whole thing, a total of 3 times. Interval weight training has a very specific intended stimulus, and we want you to follow it to the T. So for part A and part B, your first 1 minute of the weightlifting part needs to be at a medium pace. Okay, so after 1 minute of a medium pace, we will move into the next part, which is a 90-second AMRAP of a cardio movement, which here you need to go all out, and this is your scoring part. You need to count as the reps that you do here. Push yourself really hard, okay, for the second part. Now when we move to part C, it's a medium pace, the last part. Do as much as you can within those 90 seconds, as many exercises as you can. It doesn't matter, move at a medium pace. We're not going to push you too hard. And you also have 90 seconds rest coming up after every round. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the exercises. The first one is the snuster, which is a complex movement which starts off with a snatch followed by a thruster. So though you start off with the weight on the floor, you're going to snatch the weight up all the way into an overhead position, bring it onto your shoulder, descend into a thruster, come back up, press it up, and then bring the weight back down onto the floor. Now make sure your back is straight, make sure you're pushing your knees out, make sure your core is engaged throughout the movement. If you find this difficult or the weight is too heavy, speak to your coaches and they will tell you what you need to do. The second movement of part A is the mountain climber, which starts off with you in a push-up position, and then in a running sort of stance, you're going to bring your knees as high up to your chest as possible. Remember, every time you bring your right knee up and your left knee up will be counted as 1 repetition. Make sure you keep your hips down while doing this movement.